much like your words is meaningless. Well,
I want to have a word.
Speak. Speak. Shook. As you say.
Another step forward.
My condition likes being ignored as little as I do. I must consume another artifact. And soon. Thank you. Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mystra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent. I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. Who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover. Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries. I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. Inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale? Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. And his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms. Until the day Mystra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if After all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess. You know me. My gestures can never be grand enough. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in. Into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. The book bound and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pulses. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. Rather worse, actually. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep. We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this, it must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways. That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth. What's on your mind? I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong, you did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mystra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Of course, as a warlock, your patron endows you with many such powers, otherwise unattainable. I do hope you cherish that gift. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. to be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. For a spell, Mistral was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. Try to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls. How can I help?
Need something?
So, that's what people mean when they talk. All right. No time to dally.
The village to the east. It's abandoned.
Looks that way. But scouts said they heard something moving around out there. Something big.
It's not our concern. Our prey is elsewhere.
Find a way forward.
Seluna. As if mingling with a horde of goblins wasn't bad enough. Let's do what we have to do, then get out of here. Quite the understatement, but yes. Let's not linger in this place any more than necessary.
The blade, it'll cut your brain to bits.
This ruin's dedicated to Seluna, vile moon witch. For once, the goblins' decorations are an improvement.
Very well.
Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here.
You recognize the Scourge. This man is a follower of Leviatar, goddess of pain.
Ah. Are you also here to assist with the prisoner? I was invited to teach them some of my techniques. I live for pain and its intricacies, you see. But alas, these goblins seem to thrive on the crude and primitive. Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree? Exactly. Pain is an intimate thing. It should be delivered with a loving and measured hand. But trying to discuss such subtleties with these creatures is simply... Forgive me, but that look in your eyes, something terrible has happened to you. Because I see those same eyes when I look in the mirror, dear one. We've all suffered in these dark times. It is little wonder you bear scars of pain and anguish. Please, let me alleviate this pain. As the Maiden of Pain, the goddess Loviatar teaches us, through penance, administered by my skilled hand. My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise.
Go ahead. I'm sure you're in need of a little penance.
Oh, I have something exquisite in mind. Both Loviatar and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one. And should you delight her, you will most assuredly receive her most gracious blessing. Trust me. Simply face the wall, and we can begin. Face the wall and let us begin, dear one.
Tell me where your hideout is. Ain't so hard, is it? Tell me! Can I rip off his ears? Tear out his eyes? Later. I gotta take it slow. Make it agonizing!
All right. What now? With haste.
Pain without purpose is a... Forgive me, but... Please.
I must see this. Don't you...
Oh. I have something. Well, simply... Yes. This will do nicely. The pain you suffer will cleanse you. Do not fight it. Your voice sounds so sweet, dear one. Keep going.
Oh, bravo! Encore.
Pain is proof that we live. Revel in it. That's it, dear one! Let Loviatar hear you!
It was a fine strike. Excellent form.
You are doing so well! Do not give in now! Yes, you can, child! Take the pain and offer it up to Loviatar. Offer it all. Sweet child, you bore the pain like a true believer. I am proud to have served you this penance. Oh, as did I, dear one. Loviatar herself found your performance inspiring. She has deemed you worthy of her blessing. And on a personal note, thank you. That was positively divine.
Well, whatever you're into.
That was not what I expected to see today.
What's next?
No time to rest.
Silutzana,
Best be on my
I
way.
knew more about.
I ain't never felt so strong. Absolute
Nobody's gonna push us
out
around
for me
anymore.
now.
I have something to ask.
Now here's somebody special. The Absolute has touched you, hasn't she? Priestess Gut needs to touch you too. Hold out your arm so I can mark your flesh. Shows our devotion to the Absolute. These maggots see how strong we are with her guidance. Whole camp will be branded soon, and you should be too. You ready? Brace yourself. This'll sting. Maybe you don't need it. After all, you're special, ain't you? Like me.
She probes your mind, tangling your thoughts with hers. A familiar sensation. She too carries a power. Darkness seems to swallow the temple, leaving you with a vision of the goblin priestess receiving instruction from a handsome young man, one of the chosen. The vision dissolves away. You stand before the goblin priestess in the temple once again. Her faith floods into you, a tide of shuddering ecstasy. Her tadpole nestles within that mania, secure, hidden.
I feel you in there, digging around. Works both ways. And I saw some weird shadows swimming around in your head just now. Maybe I can help with that. Us true souls gotta look out for one another. With the Absolute's will, I can fix anything. Let's deal with this in my chapel. It's private. Don't want this lot interfering with true soul business.
Oi, priestess, we want the mark.
Why do they think they're talking to a god?
Ain't we good enough for the Absolute?
Oi, come here. I ain't waiting around. Ready to clear your head? Whatever the Absolute tells me to. Don't worry, she loves you. I can tell. Don't want a crowd of gawpers. Everybody else needs to leave. Ready to clear your head? Smart. All you need to do is open yourself to the Absolute. And I'll do the rest. Don't want anyone peeping on private matters, so... There we go. Secret and safe. Well, secret.
Psionic feelers creep across your mind like a pickpocket's fingers seeking flaws in fabric. Sifting deeper, she sees the mind flayer holding a wriggling tadpole to your eye. And then the vision lurches, and you are looking through her eyes as a tadpole squirms into her skull.
Helps! We need to fish that thing out before it eats any important parts of your brain. No. It's messing with your brain. You're seeing things, probably hearing voices too, yeah? Don't you worry. I've got everything I need to fix you. Might get a bit messy, though. It involves you putting your trust in the Absolute. Simple. You won't regret this. Being a true soul, you know the Absolute don't like to touch nothing unclean. So drink this. It'll purify ya. It's a liquid blessing. It'll cleanse you. And it tastes better than that rot gut at the party. I guess we're doing this the hard way, then. Sweet dreams. Wakey, wakey. Don't bother struggling. You ain't going nowhere. The Absolute wants to know all about that critter in your head. So start talking.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Ready to clear your head? Smart. All you need to do is open yourself to the Absolute. And I'll do the rest. Don't want anyone peeping on private matters, so... There we go. Secret and safe. Well, secret.
Psionic feelers creep across your mind like a pickpocket's fingers seeking flaws in fabric.
I need a quick word.
That the jingle of coin, I hear? You've timed it well, my friend. Already turned quite the profit today, so I'm feeling generous.
You recognize the crest she bears, the winged serpent of the Zentarim.
Half right, sharp eyes. Zen is a normal trader. Just a matter of what's for sale. Weapons and other exotic goods, true enough. But most of all, we offer discretion. No judgment, no right and wrong, just good deals and bad. That a problem for you? Bit quieter, if you please. This crowd just burned that into the ground, you might recall. But good. That means Zaris and her little operation weren't found. Seems you're a friend of the family. That warrants a discount. A small one. Pleasure.
You've set foot in a restricted area. A swift exit may be in order.
One day I'll catch a break.
Keep your distance, darling.
Ready or not.
Gently. That's good.
attempt at pickpocketing has yielded. You've set foot in a restricted area. A swift egg.
Let's be quick. No one back home will ever believe this.
I must keep going.
Making me sweat.
Keep a blade close. Hardly a challenge.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Look where tipping.
Got to keep moving.
Yes, my desire. Closer, my sweet. I will wrap you and bind you and bite you and eat you. Delicious, I do not know. But cruel and sharp, yes. Bindable and wrappable and biteable, yes.
Someone let the crawlies out!
Still breathing, despite everything. On my way.
Prisoner will talk. You eat the ship. Spike always makes him talk.
If he doesn't, I'll cut out his tongue.
If he don't have a tongue, he can't tell us nothing.
No booze, no sneaking.
The prisoner can keep his tongue. It spikes.
Mistress! It's me, your loyal servant, Sazza. I'm back, and I brought a friend.
How thoughtful. And where did you find this friend?
They was in some rickety druid grove, mostly full of tieflings, but them intruders you're after were hiding out there.
I presume you dealt with my prey and massacred the rest.
Well, the thing about that is, they sort of massacred us. But this mug helped me to escape. I say we stick a few holes in him. Show how grateful we are.
You feel a cold hand caress your mind as the drow appraises you.
Oh dear. Your prisoner is one of the Absolute's favorites, Sazza. A true soul.
Nah, a can't be. They was in the grove, hanging around with the tieflings.
Undercover, no doubt. Carrying out the Absolute's will. Oh, Sazza, you have made a grave error. And it will be your last. My spiders are hungry, little one. But before they feast, tell me where that grove is. And I may yet spare your life.
It's past the bridge, to the east. Big old gate covered in ivy. Don't hurt me, mistress, please.
I will not hurt you. My spiders will have that pleasure.
No, I mucked up, I'm sorry. But I didn't know who they was. They didn't tell me nothing.
A liar as well as a fool. I hope you're at least digestible.
It ain't true! Them's the bloody liars! Somebody help!
Through sheer luck, that pathetic worm has brought me the information I need. And it seems that the inhabitants of the Grove trust you. We can use that against them. You have a part to play in this slaughter.
Return to the Grove. When my raiding party approaches, throw open the gate and signal me.
The fate of the Grove's inhabitants hangs in the balance. Killing the drow here would spare them, but it might be better to face her warband at the Grove itself, on familiar ground. On the other hand, participating in the slaughter as she asks may be the perfect way to earn her trust and access to the cult's inner circle.
You would dare! Guards, to me! Bring this sniveling wretch in the pit.
What are they doing? Climbing trees? We'll smoke 'em out, no problem.
Certainly won't be because of your beautiful eyes.
What do they need to be looking at any of us for, is what I'm saying? We're all on the same side. Although we're gonna set the true soul on fire.
They're drowned. They're stuck up. Ignore them. And be happy they didn't throw you to the side yet.
Let's have some courage.
Up, up! Want another?
Very well.
Yes.
My faith will protect me. On I go.
Still breathing, despite everything. Hope this ends well.
There's an illithid parasite in that corpse. You should take a look.
Let's have a look.
Attention! Nice. Yeah.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
This one is a true soul parasite. It can enhance you. You can absorb its potential. Open your mind to it. You already know how.
Your mind swells as it subsumes everything the tadpole has to offer. Everything it was and everything it was destined to be. Pure potential. Pure power.
Good. You have grown your power and improved your chances of survival.
soldier.
So, you've indulged. Just helped yourself to a little more power, I see. And there isn't a tentacle to be seen. Not a bad deal, I'd say. My only complaint is that you didn't want to share. I wouldn't mind indulging myself. I admit, I wasn't keen to be the first to try it, just in case there were any, surprise side effects. But now that we know it's safe, I'm all for experimenting. I might just hold you to that.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
All right, Karlak, it's go time. Don't be shy. If you insist. What's this? Aha! Looky!
Still alive, so that's progress. What's inside? At the ready. Maybe I need more pockets. From here. I need to find a way forward. deep and move.
Got to keep fighting.
With pleasure.
Heating up.
Another parasite. Collect it. It might be useful.
What a charmer. For me?
It's been a long day. Better stop to rest soon.
Hello.
Spill some blood.
Right on my feet.
Look at this! I'm quite saved! A joy to see a familiar face in such a precarious setting. I guarantee the story of your daring rescue of my person will live on for eons. I intend to do just that. A trusty invisibility potion goes a long way in a place like this. We mustn't tarry, but I'd hate for our friendship to end here. Please, won't you meet me once we've both slipped the goblin yoke? Why, by design, my friend. How better to learn the ways of a people than to live among them? I dare say the experiment has proven most fruitful, too. I'll be happy to share my findings once we've found somewhere safe to parley. Smashing! Soon, my friend. Soon we can share a flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do. I'll slip away when the coast is clear. See you soon, my friend. I simply can't wait to pick your brain!
Open up. Oh yeah,
mutilate them.
Let's cook with fire, baby. Come on, Karlak. Show him who you are.
Talk to me. On the move. Let me strike through.
Still on my feet. With haste.
This is my happy place.
The only way out is through. Have a lot on my mind and, well, in it.
You're mine.
to learn the hard way.
Time to press ahead.
This.
Let's finish this. Feel my mistress's wrath.
There's a parasite in that corpse, brimming with potent magic.
What's in here?
watch your back.
Hey, good looking.
Looking ahead.
Let's march. Hmm?
Never a dull moment.
As the corpse rises, your parasite squirms in recognition.
Stop it! Stop it! You wretched worm!
There's no doubt this creature is responsible for your parasite, and it's waiting for your questions. You see dark tunnels lit by noxious pools of brine. The darkness spreads through the earth. The sky splits open and nautiloids pour out of a void that consumes the stars. You watch through the creature's eyes as it curses the starborn slaves. They want the ones from the ship. Darkness and sun barely contained. You see the tadpole in the Mind Flayer's hand. Not a parasite. Perfection. Rebirth is sloughing flesh. A new skull housing cold, sharp intellect. Dark, empty pods flicker across your vision. They demand new flesh. Fractured images fill your mind. Curved drow blades, crude goblin torches, gnoll teeth dripping blood. You see other mind flayers arranged in a serene circle. Absolute unity. Absolute power. The Mind Flayer's corpse twitches, then collapses again. It will speak no more.
Open up. Breathe deep and move.
Yoink! Let's go! Karlak incoming.
Praise his ever-bleeding axe. Praise his throne of flaming iron. Praise McGlubbyhead. Trying to interrupt my prayers? Scared of a real god? You're as goonless as the rest of them. 'cause I'm loyal to McGlubbiet. 'Cause I ain't having my head turned by some upstart god. Yeah, my old tribe's fallen for this shite, traitorous bastards. The Great Absolute brings us together. Drow and gnolls and goblins all braiding one another's hair. It's a load of shite. Talking to you, ain't I? I just don't believe in all this togetherness and chumminess. Ain't natural. It won't last. They'll be tearing into each other soon enough. Sod 'em all. I'll wait it out in air, praying to a real god.
Someone there? A crooked touch.
We got the Absolute's mind on our side. Someone speaks against us, just stick it up. Slice off their fingers.
Ha! Look at where the Absolute's love got 'em. Dead! Thanks for breaking me out. Gonna find me a new tribe. One that appreciates the old ways.
Happy days. Step quick.
What's cooking? Aha!
I'm so tired. How do people do this all day?
Let's ride. Listen.
No, no! Please! Oh, don't hurt me! You are? I need to get out of here. I don't know. He changed into a bear, but I lost sight of him. I don't know if he's still alive. Yes. He should be here somewhere. They said there was a hidden passage underneath this temple. The place was supposed to be abandoned when we arrived. Brian had instructions, but the goblins got him. They said they'd eat him. Please, these shackles.
I don't want to die. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The lock clicks and opens.
Thank you. I better go before they catch us. I should be able to make it to the Grove on my own. They need to know they're in danger. The Grove. To the east. They wanted to know where we came from. They'll kill everyone. Please, I need to warn them. I don't know. The boss didn't say. He just said some wizard called Leroacan would reward us if we found it. That's all.
My good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Finding is my job, my friend. If there's anything in the world worth knowing, I assure you, I do. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know? Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible. That can't be. You're either an excellent storyteller, or you've experienced something quite exceptional. Tell me, have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter? That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a mind flayer. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, my dear, sweet God! If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
What to do?
My... Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. Not yet, I'm afraid. What, the druid Halson had some kind of fear? That... Tell me, that's quite impossible. As there's not a isn't it? Oh, dear. Ah, quite the cozy setup you have here. Not yet, I'm afraid, but my expectation...
Already feeling better.
Come on, then, don't leave me in suspense. How are you feeling? No errant tentacles? No sudden cravings for a more cerebral diet? Wonderful. Advantages are a more precious commodity than I'd have hoped, given the nature of our predicament. I commend you on your willingness to take such a risk. Now, let's hope your new illithid fuel prowess tipped the balance suitably in our favor. Was there another matter you wish to discuss?
What can I do for you, my friend?
Gone gods. Watching you consume that tadpole was more disgusting than the tadpole itself. Though, I suppose that's not what you wanted to talk about. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious. But once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. I'm more than a bit wary, I admit. Still, I am the Frontier's avowed protector. New dangers require new skills to vanquish them. If the tadpole must be my curse, then let the powers it grants me be the Sword Coast's blessing. I will consume what I must to make it so.
It was bad enough having just one of those tadpoles forced upon us. I can scarcely believe you actually inflicted another on yourself. On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from. And what lies at the end of that path. I never expected ceramorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it. Well, perhaps you have a point. Fine. Let's explore these powers then. I just hope we don't come to regret it. Very serious of you. But go ahead. You know, I've been catching myself... If you're sure. Fine.
Never wanted the easy path.
Feeling illithid? Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. with people I liked, doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints. You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more illithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, seem fine. And yet, you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this. Do they? I'm not sure either of us can say one way or the other. We don't know what the costs might be just yet. Ugh! How do you do that? Always making sense when I least want you to. Fine. I'll keep an open mind, all right? I can promise that much. Now, are we done here?
Danger! No good will come of devouring a gay worm, no matter what you might think. Mark my words, this power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven. Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what am I to do then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power. You might be right. The Githyanki have long studied Geich and used what we've learned. The Zaithisk itself was devised from such knowledge. The tadpole is perhaps not just a curse, but a weapon I can twist and mold to my advantage. Very well. I will swallow my disgust and avail myself of the parasite's powers.
How can I help?
Hey-ho.
Trust no one. Fine.
Well met.
Fine. Watch the shadows.
I was hoping you'd come to chat. What do you need? All right.
Something's on my mind.
There you are. I was just thinking about you. And that delicious moment we shared the other night. The very same. I've had this condition for 2 centuries, but truth be told, you were my first. In all these years, I've only ever fed on beasts. Drinking the blood of thinking creatures is a different thing entirely. You were delectable. And now I can't help but wonder how the others taste. Alas. It doesn't hurt to ponder the question, though. Take Gale, for example. He strikes me as someone whose blood is rich, refined, like well-aged brandy. But the Give? What in the hells would she taste like? Oh. Well, that sounds very appealing. I'm almost convinced. Absolutely. A mere thought experiment. So, in the spirit of theoretical questions, if you had to take a bite from one of them, who would it be? A brave choice. Although, the more I think on it, the hungrier I get. I better go find something I can actually get my teeth into. Nothing out there will taste as good as the alternatives, but I'll make do. Sweet dreams.
Here we go.
Hey, soldier. You aren't asleep, are you? I'm buzzing, honestly. I couldn't wait to talk to you. Isn't it mad? How good life is. Thank the gods. I was afraid I was the only one. 10 years is a long time to be trapped in the hells. 10 years without a kind word. A touch. When I look at you, I feel real again. Alive. Gods, I want to ride you till you see stars. I'm sorry. I shouldn't tease you, or myself. I'd give anything to touch you, but I can't. Not until I can be sure I won't burn you. Don't tempt me. It isn't fair. Sleep on it, maybe. If you've thought of something by morning, I'd love to know. For now, it's enough just to know you care enough to try.
Someone's reported a theft in this area. It seems you're... You've been given the benefit of the doubt this time, but something tells you next time you won't be so lucky. You've set foot in a restricted area. A swift exit may be in order.
Make it hurt.
So much for peace.
This is gonna feel good. Watch this! Well, well, well. Hello. Moving it.
Gimme.
Easy. What's that? All right. That thing is small, and I am not.
Wanna dance? While I'm at it.
delicious.
Ready for another round?
I won't give in.
Need to stay focused.
What a charmer. Open up.
To the death.
Oh, I could go for a good meal. Looky!
Moving in.
Making me sweat.
To concentrate.
Bye forever, pal. Eat it.
Shall we dance? Come on then.
Never a dull moment.
Bet them nuts are nice and juicy. Crush the bull bag!
Make it hurt.
Lighting up.
Survival is all that matters.
Time to deal some punishment.
No escape.
What's it gonna take?
No choice but to keep going.
Let's do this.
Goblins are such vile little parasites.
Given your own nature, are you really the one to judge?
Come on, let's go.
Better make camp soon. Might be a while before there's another chance to rest.
let's have it.
Still breathing, despite everything.
No harm in a little conversation.
Mother gone. Hungry. New home? Maybe.
He runs away. Only time will tell if he'll reappear.
Not your typical pet. Hopefully it doesn't wreck the camp when it gets there.
Let's go.
Let's hope for gold.
Look at all these sleeping beauties, dead to the world.
Yes.
What should I do? Bleed for me.
Blood comes easy these days. Swift as my feet can carry me.
Now. Yes, please. Tread lightly. That wall's dangerously weak.
Take it, the king. Me? Yo! What do we have here?
With pleasure. There. Let's see here.
Decaying legs protrude from the hole. A failed escape, it seems. It seems the tunnel collapsed mid-dig and suffocated him. A crooked heart is embroidered on his left shoe. The body comes loose, revealing a tunnel. Perhaps you can escape where he failed.
No time to rest.
The corpse regards you, lifelessly.
Taglin, carpenter, father of two. Heading to Baldur's Gate. Didn't hear Goblin Patrol. My son Garland did it. If I ever missed him, could look down and remember him. Goblins took my friends, cut them up for the wargs, for meat. Digging too quickly, felt tunnel collapsing, kept going. Better dead than warg meat.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
These boots have seen everything.
Someone escaped. One of the adventurers?
Whoever did it left quite some claw marks. Maybe the missing druid?
He must have returned to the grove.
Keep a blade close. What's in here? What have we here? A quick rummage. Over here. Debris didn't shift. Perhaps a little more oomph is required. The debris didn't shift. Perhaps a little more oomph is required. Just be quick.
my good... Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. It's not... You only have a matter of...
Let's move. What's up for discussion?
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle. The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat.
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Yes, quite. Well, there is some mild trauma. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were trained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
Welcome to the League of the Lone Eye, my friend. Not to minimize the pain of Volo's poking and prodding, but I promise, you'll be used to the prosthesis in no time. Besides, I find it gives one an air of mystique. No one's more intriguing than a man with one eye.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, my day just improved. Did you want something?
If you're sure. Fine.
Don't waste a step.
Well met. That's the spirit.
Better not be cursed.
You carry a Githyanki relic. I will have an explanation. Or your head.
Walk away. Now.
I won't warn you again.
That artifact is an heirloom of my people. Likely she spilled Githyanki blood in order to steal it. This cannot stand.
Heirloom? Plunder from some conquered realm, more like. This artifact is the only thing keeping us from becoming slaves to our parasites. Be glad I have it. Lae'zel thinks I have something important to her people. She's deluded, clear.
Lies. She carries an heirloom of my people. I must know why. Incorrect. Judicious bloodletting settles feuds and roots out the weak, the deceitful.
Do you hear this, tribe? Our lives are at stake, and she wants us to turn on each other.
No others. Just you and me. The bad blood must be purged. A jewel come first light.
You mean I'd get to prove you wrong and thrash you? I love it. Get some rest, Lae'zel. You'll need it. You had every chance to look the other way. But here we are. You chose this.
Spare me the justifications, coward.
If anyone asks, I'll say you were transforming. Don't expect to be mourned. She's a liability. It's the artifact we need, not her.
Let me up, and I'll show you.
Can I do that, Lae'zel? Can I turn my back on you?
Never. Thieves aren't afforded such luxury.
Loosen the grip on your pride for one blasted moment, won't you? We needn't be enemies. There's plenty of those to go around already.
What would you have? That we be friends?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But imagine what we might achieve if we channeled some of that hostility back at our real foes, instead of each other. They wouldn't stand a chance.
Right. All of our takings stashed away for the journey? Yes, Mom?
Zevlor.
By Delt's virtue. The Blade of Frontiers? What's happened, Will?
I paid the price of angering the wrong devil.
Believe me, I understand better than most.
A moment passes as Zevlor contemplates Will's words. He then turns his attentions to you.
A scout just reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. And I hear you are the one to thank. I'm grateful. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it. Very good of you. Thank you.
Halsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Corker. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
Remember, stay near the center of the group, all right? No wandering off.
I nearly dispatched those goblins myself, but it seems you managed well enough. And why wield a masterwork where a butcher's blade will do? My thanks, truly.
I've got it!
Don't be breaking your back before we get to Baldur's.
So it's true. You scattered the goblins. Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you. As am I. And I'm sure those poor refugees would quite agree. Of course. May you keep back.
Where am I needed?
Well, hello.
Defender of the people. And I'm off.
Trust no one.
No one's stopped me yet. Should mind my step.
You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
An error, most grave master. I beg your grace.
Grace is bestowed by nature, not me. You will stay as a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the druids, the natural order of things. It is up to you to prove the lessons have been learned once more.
So as you say. And so it is done, master.
She shows great insolence. But time will humble her. And the Grove still needs her. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The Grove stands. Nature prevails. I owe you my thanks. And an introduction. I am Halsin, first druid of the Emerald Grove. And I sense you have a problem you seek my help with. It's true. I can feel it right now. Oak Father preserve you, child. But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the Absolute like the true souls do. How is this possible? Perhaps. But I wouldn't want to place all my faith in blind luck. Someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected. I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic. I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. At the Goblin camp, I hoped to find a way to remove the tadpoles. I failed, but I did find the next best thing. I found out where they come from. I will do what I can to help you. Let us speak tomorrow. You and I both have matters to see to first. As for what you've done for the Grove, speak to Wrath. He will see to your reward. The journey to Moonrise Towers, and all the dangers that entails. But that's tomorrow's problem. Take some time for yourself tonight. Rest, celebrate. Come morning, I'll be by your side.
Strength in the shadows. May Sylvanas forgive me.
At least you recognize your mistake. This is a beginning. A small one.
I need a quick word.
You've done it.
You brought Halcyon back. Thank you. No, thanks is not enough. May Sylvanas bless you for all your days. I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task. As am I. The grove will be whole again. And I promised you a reward, didn't I? Let me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need it. Place it among the pedestals inside our library. When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Prime, it might be time for another. I'm no fan of those devils either, but they're leaving. If it had been up to Korga, they would never have been.
Blessed day. You kept your word. Thank you. I don't know if but I'll have to tidy this place.
A parasite. Take it. It might be useful.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
A hero at heart.
Hey ho.
What to do? Seems simple enough.
King, what else do we need?
The gods are watching me. Wish I had a bag of holding. The glaive the druid's notebook mentioned. Its owner thought it was cursed. What's inside?
So it's true. You scattered the goblins. Peace can... As am I. Of course. May you keep...
You're handsome.
Have a drink.
You're drunk. I'm
I
fine.
am.
Loosen up, Icaron.
No, no. An owlbear.
Something's on my mind.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful. We killed some goblins to save some tieflings. The tally of lives didn't change much. But what do I get for all my hard work? A pat on the head and vinegar for wine. Pfft.
It's a heavy, rich red, dry and sharp.
See what I mean? Awful. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask? By the hells. Sex, my dear. A night of passion. Let's wait until things quieten down. Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other. Never listen to your second thoughts. They always spoil the fun. But fine, if you're determined to ruin your evening, I won't stop you.
You came through for us. That's a change from most adults I know. And that sounds like the wine drowning your wits. Go on, enjoy yourself. I've squirreled away a few extra bottles. When the barrel's tapped out, I'll be there to save the night. For a price, of course.
I can't afford to lose any more of them.
That's not what happened. Live a little.
You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow. In truth, I rarely imbibe. The stuff goes right to my head. Before you know it, I'd be breaking into song or declaring love to the first person I laid eyes on. Then you have never heard me singing, which makes you very fortunate. I'm sure there are. You strike me as extremely resourceful. But there are many grateful people here who want to spend time with you. I must not keep you all to myself, as enjoyable as that may be. Go on, enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
I should be out there, talking with them.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas? After Elturel, I think you're right. Faerun deserves to see us as we really are.
Beautiful night, don't you think? Nothing like a brush with destruction to make one appreciate the majesty of the celestial canvas. It's a view I would once have shared with my companion, though definitely unaccompanied by such revelry. She preferred it when we were alone, curled up before a crackling hearth with some ancient, esoteric tome between us, ink glinting in the firelight.
By a Gerorn's lost nose! No!
Tara is not any cat. She's a Tressum. And given your confusion, I'm guessing you've never met one. They're brilliant creatures. Fine company for any self-respecting wizard. She'd be most impressed by our efforts saving these tieflings. Proud, even. And I've given her little to be proud of recently, after I was afflicted with my condition. And locked myself in my tower for an entire year. I was inconsolable. Wallowing in my self-inflicted tragedy. I'd given up on myself. But Tara never did. It was her encouragement. Her research that led me to my treatment. Once we knew that magically infused items were the key, she went out to find them for me. She saved my life. After so long being cared for by someone else, it feels good to have repaid the favor. Not directly to Tara, but to these poor tieflings. I'm sure she would approve. Smart does her a disservice. She's a fine wizard in her own right, though somewhat held back by her lack of opposable thumbs. You remind me of her somewhat. There's a steeliness in you, an unwavering tenacity, even in the face of, to be frank, quite dire odds. Wish she were here for me to make a formal introduction. But I would never ask her to undertake such a journey. She's safer at home. Besides, she was always telling me I needed to spread my wings, so to speak. Find mortal friends instead of hanging onto Mistra's coattails. So that's what I'm doing. I hope. Sadly not. If I'm being entirely honest, my social circle is rather small. More of a dot. Or a pinhead. I've got acquaintances, certainly. Plenty of colleagues. Friends? Those are precious indeed. I hope, though we've only known each other for a short time, I might be able to count you among that number. Were I to recite that list, I fear we'd be here at dusk tomorrow. Many things, I assure you. But a conversation better saved for another time. With my condition as volatile as it is, I fear any undue excitement may tip it over the edge, so to speak. Go! Indulge in the frivolities. They're good for the heart. And mine will be all the lighter to see you enjoying yourself.
Sherry! That's infernal for cheers. Or possibly turnip.
Think of it. No more caves, no more tents, no more running away. We'll be in a city with roads and markets and homes.
Look at them all. Guzzling poison like we've the right to be happy. Perhaps it'll make the evening more tolerable.
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for? Your words, not mine. But not what I mean. I mean, desperate people. Like those refugees. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd. That's more easily said by some than others. But nobody's here to debate right from wrong. We should have had wine more often. More warming than the fire. We should have had wine more often.
No, let them have fun. I'll be ruining it come morning anyway.
Would you look at this place? All these people, happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible, and with such lovely company. With you, and just lately, I feel like I can remember what it's like to be good. I tried in the beginning. Blew up in my face spectacularly. Lesson learned, never try to befriend a devil, cambion, or imp. Orphans are good for a drink and joke, but you can't turn your back on them. But hey, enough about that. That's history now. I want to think about the future. The one nice thing about being trapped in the inexorable grind of time is you've always got something to look forward to. Me too. I don't think I've ever looked forward to anything as much. You better go enjoy the party before I do something I'll regret. I like you unburnt, after all. Bye, soldier.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone. No. I'm deeply proud of you. A touch less so of myself. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party. Claws will pop the balloons, you see. And the sweet cakes don't taste half as good as raw eggs with this blasted forked tongue. If only half the world had half the heart you do. But off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music. I'm afraid my feet are firmly planted to the ground this evening. Some time alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
Go on, do your rounds. But if they hand you something purple, don't drink it. I think they got into Ethel's potions.
I don't know what that means.
Have another drink, and you'll know exactly.
Go on, do your rounds.
Buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. You've picked up a few pleasant memories on your journey amongst your struggles. Her mind is certainly an enigma, but would you wish it any other way?
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
We get a cure and the chance to hit these arseholes where they live. Sounds good.
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. You're half right. You have to get to Moonrise, but you still have a choice of how to get there. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers. Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. You'll need to pick it up where Aradin left off. Find the hidden entrance. It's somewhere in the Temple of Selûne. The decision is yours, but I'd favor the Underdark. Even a place like that is the lesser evil compared to the shadow-cursed lands. Anything is preferable to risking the Shadow Curse. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned. May Sylvanus guide us. Oakfather's blessings to you.
I hope that's the end of this silly quarrel. They'll have no energy for battling our enemies if Lae'zel and Shadowheart are too busy squabbling among themselves. Well met. Are you sure? And just...
I'll say one thing for our troop. We're not short on drama. I'm glad Shadowheart and Lae'zel settled their differences peacefully. Eventually.
Speak. It is over where I am concerned. It is through conflict that we strengthen our bonds. Yet I do not recommend Shadowheart seek it again. The next resolution may not end in her favor. I hadn't thought myself so transparent. Well, you'd be a succulent meal. I would like to have gorged. But you've been prodded and picked over like a suckling boar. I prefer fresher meat. It is done.
I don't think there'll be any more trouble between Lae'zel and I, if you were wondering. We can all sleep easier now. Well, apart from all the rest. You have an interesting definition of friendly, but yes.
Very glad Shadowheart and Lae'zel settled things without letting any blood. I would have enjoyed the spectacle, but not losing either one of those lunatics. Sad. I couldn't let myself feel sad in the Hells. Letting my guard down would have been a death sentence. And letting, say, a Cambion near me would have been disastrous. I thought it best to just keep my distance. But loneliness that deep gets into the marrow. Now that I'm here, among friends, I can feel it burning out of me. Little by little, step by step. Where would you start? You give me chills, baby. No mean feat at my temperature. Gods, we better find a way to cool me off soon. I'm not sure how much more of this I can take.
Eager for battle.
All's well that ends Not as bad as it could have. Breathe deep and move. More for me.
Wait. These markings. Tirsu's script scratched in the ground. A creche must be nested in the temple below. We must go there at once. Githyanki writing. Every word a wheel, every letter a spoke. The most powerful texts are engraved in slate. Some so ancient, only the most erudite Gish can read them. You don't have to trust them, only to trust me. I have not failed you yet, and I have no intentions of it now. I don't need you to believe me for it to be true. Very well, you may lead. But if we stray too far that our chance is lost, I'll make my way there alone.